Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. So I'm sure you guys have heard this before. You've heard the argument that corporations are essentially people, that they should be treated as people. It's a talking point that I'm sure you've heard being used in different contexts. And in a lot of ways, it's kind of true. Corporations sometimes are like people. And following the 2024 election, just how we're seeing some people getting it and other people not getting it. Some people have had their eyes opened, and others, well, not so much. They're doubling down on the delusion. Well, corporations, just like people, I guess, are following in the same footsteps. We're seeing the exact same trend.
Oh, shit. Here we go again.
There's some corporations who get it, they understand what's happening in the market, and so they're deciding to shift. And there's others who, just don't really get it at all. They're not planning to make any shift at all. No, they're doubling down on the DEI woke nonsense. And today, the corporation that's doubling down is none other than Apple. As we're seeing across most industries, company executives and boards are making the decision to slash DEI programs. Well, instead, Apple is fighting tooth and nail against its own shareholders to protect its DEI programs. You just can't make this stuff up. I guess Apple has a case of chronic wokeness. Let me show you guys exactly what's going on. We got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. All right, so here we go, folks. Apple, the once great innovator of sleek gadgets and game-changing tech, the company whose advertising slogan used to be "Think Different,"
Here's to the crazy ones. The misfits, the rebels, the troublemakers, the round pegs in the square holes, the ones who see things differently. They're not fond of rules, and they have no respect for the status quo. You can quote them, disagree with them, glorify or vilify them, but the only thing you can't do is ignore them, because they change things. They push the human race forward. And while some may see them as the crazy ones, we see genius. Because the people who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones who do.
Is now marching in lockstep with the woke mob, doubling down on their DEI programs. Yeah, really challenging the mold here. Apple's thinking differently by continuing to think exactly as the establishment dictates. How incredibly dumb. It's being reported that Apple is officially opposing a shareholder measure to scrap their DEI program.
What are you talking about? You're delusional.
And their reasoning, get a load of this, the proposal also inappropriately attempts to restrict Apple's ability to manage its own ordinary business operations, people and teams and business strategies.
What an odd thing to say.
Oh my goodness, what does that even mean? Translation, we're not stopping our virtue signaling because we believe that we're the moral police, and if you lose money, that's on you. We want to continue with our racist policies and discrimination, and any challenge to that is a proposal that inappropriately attempts to restrict our ability to be racist within our own hiring practices. How dumb is that? And I keep saying this, but it's the new culture, it's the new world that we live in. I would be mad, I would be frustrated at hearing this kind of news in the past, but nowadays, walk the freaking plank. Okay, this is complete corporate sabotage, plain and simple. Let them double down, let them continue along. It's gonna backfire, we know what happens here. There's a rule. You might even say it's a metaphysical law.
Everything woke. It's true. Everything woke turns to shit, okay? It's true. It's true.
It's almost like Apple is looking at companies like Netflix, Disney, Bud Light, and thinking, hey, how come they get to have all the fun and not us? I want to destroy my company too. I want to be just like all the other woke failures at the end of 2024.
My goodness, what an idea. Why didn't I think of that? Hammocks!
We all remember Concord, right? Any gamers out there? The recently released $200 million AAA big budget game with all the hilarious looking woke characters? No, of course you don't remember Concord, because it was such a disaster, colossal failure that it vanished before anybody could figure out what it was supposed to be about. And let's not forget Star Wars The Acolyte, right? Another gem of the woke entertainment sphere that follow the same bold strategy that Apple is following, ignoring your actual fans, ignoring the actual cultural trends, and doubling down on the woke nonsense. Yeah, complete disaster. And now Apple's doing the same thing as the Disney strategy, telling its shareholders to suck it up while they flush money down the freaking DEI drain. We know what's best for our consumers. You know, maybe Apple's making a bet here that the people who buy their subpar products for double the price, well, they're just a bunch of susceptible bots in the first place. So it's not like we need to pivot. They're a bunch of woke drones that we control in the first place. So let's just double down. Maybe that's the thought process. But I think that might be a severe miscalculation. Apple's basically saying that they know better than their shareholders. But I'm not so sure they're reading the market so well. I'm not so sure this is the right business move, not even just from a cultural perspective, but even from a business perspective, as if Apple products aren't expensive enough already. I mean, holy moly. I'm always so offended by the prices being a person who's built his own computer system since I'm 13 years old. Every single time I'm doing an analysis on a Mac product, I'm looking at all the computer specs, all the components, and then looking at the price, and I'm just totally floored, flabbergasted. What, $6,000 for a desktop that's worse than something I could build for $1,200? You know, Apples aren't cheap. Well, just wait until they start passing the cost of their DEI nonsense down to the consumer. I guess nothing says social justice like paying $2,000 for a cruddy piece of tech that Apple made a 90% margin on. Honestly, I actually can't even believe that they're doubling down. I'm really failing to see the logic from a cultural and business perspective. You know, maybe you could chalk it up to this is just what the company believes, it's what they stand for. They're willing to lose money standing up for what they truly believe in. That's what some people are saying, but I have a hard time believing that one. I don't think most of these companies really truly believe half the cultural activism stuff that they're promoting, and I say that mainly due to their selective wokeness, right? It's easy to virtue signal and have all these programs in the United States, but the second they're selling something in China or the Middle East, oh, suddenly all the woke branding disappears. It's all totally disingenuous cultural bandwagoning, and nobody will ever convince me otherwise, and now we've got Apple, I guess, doubling down while everybody else is moving on.
I gotta pump those numbers up. Those are rookie numbers in this racket.
I guess let's just see how it all plays out, but I have a feeling that Donald Trump and his golden rule will end up being right again.
Everything woke turns to shit, okay?
Anyways, that's pretty much what I got for you guys on this one. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to leave a like and possibly subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.